Hey Crafty friend, it's me, Justine. Today we're going to talk tools. The new mini trimmer is available right now today, June 6th. How is it June 6th already? I don't even know. But I wanted to talk to you about some of my favorite tools, and I wanted to demo how to use these two and how to use the Scout. I know, it's so exciting. Okay, first of all, I want to give some love to this paper trimmer because I do love this one, especially with this scoring guard. So we're going to dive into that first. Then we'll talk about the paper trimmer and the oohs and the ahs about that. And then we'll finish with the Scout. And, you know, I might just talk about some other favorites that I have. We'll see how long it is. Okay, let's dive into the paper trimmer. First of all, I like that I can whip this arm out. And you can look up to 17 and a quarter inches. Most of my paper, the max it is 12, but you never know. So when I make card bases, let's chat about that. Start with a big full sheet of paper. And if you want to have card bases that are side folding, you're going to cut it in half at 5 1/4 or 5 1/2. So here's 5 1/2's right there. You can cut this with the arm down, but you don't have to. Just hold it. It kind of locks on the top and the bottom. The gray one is the cutter. So then I'll just slide that one pass and that will cut. Ta-da! It's all good. Now see how it's fraying a little bit? I do need to replace my blade. I have been using this so much, but I do have replacement blades on hand. I've already done this once because, like I said, I do use this a lot. To replace the blade, you just bring it down to this area where there's a little indent and it will pop out. Even though it might be kind of dull for the paper, it is still sharp, so be careful when you're taking this out. All right, and then I'll put the new one in like so. And I'm good to go. So I'll show you the difference here with the shaggy edge, and my next paper that I cut, I will show you the difference. But okay, card bases. So if you would like to then score the cardstock to get a card base, if you're going for A2, you're going to line it up at 4 1/4 right there. And then you're going to use the scoring side and just gently press. Maybe a couple times. It doesn't have to be crazy. I'm kind of nervous when I do it. I don't want to push through too hard, otherwise you'll end up kind of like ripping it. But if you're gentle, it should be fine. We'll pop it open. And it's already bending. Look at that. Easy as can be. Now, one of the first bonus tools that I'll talk about that I love is my bone folder. It is the Teflon one. And I think I got this at scrapbook.com. But it is super easy to make card bases this way, and if you don't like buying pre-made ones, this is the way to go. Alright, let's talk about top folding card bases. I know this is kind of basic, but you know, if you're new to card making, someone's got to teach you, so I don't mind being that person. Okay, 4 1/4 is where I'm going to line it up for top folding cards. Lock it down. Now watch how sharp this one is with the new blade. Slide it down. Look at that. Super clean edge. There's the difference between, let's see if I can show it with my hand here, the jagged edge and then the clean edge. So don't be afraid to replace your blades and have sharp cuts. Okay, now for top folding cards, to make it into a card, I'm going to line up now this side at 5 1/2. And then I'm going to slide the cutting one up to the top because I'm scoring. I won't need the cutting one. I'm going to take the white scoring edge and just press down, kind of like that, and come up. And now I fold it like so. See if I can line up my corners here. And then I take my bone folder or scoring tool, and ta-da, there is a top folding card. So you can have a card that looks like that, or you can have a card that looks like that. Of course, I would probably need to clean up this edge here because it is just a little bit jagged, but I think that's going to be a job for my guillotine trimmer. So that's a great little transition for us to go into that. Oh, and by the way, when you're using this, you could also register everything to the bottom up to about 4 3/4 of an inch. So that's just a note. If you prefer to work on the bottom, you can for smaller measurements. All right, let's see this guillotine trimmer in action, and we'll trim down this jagged edge. Are you ready? Oh, she's so beautiful. Now, I did have a guillotine trimmer in my craft room for years, and I didn't even realize how dull it was until I used this one because it's brand new. So I don't know if there's a way to sharpen the blade or not, but if there is, I would totally be interested in knowing. So goodbye, shaggy edge, and just see you never. Okay, so we have side folding and the top folding cards all ready to go for my cards. Now, should I give you a little sneaky peeky? If you did not watch my club chat video, here's one card front that I did not put on a card base yet. So this would be perfect to pop onto this card base. I would just have to glue it on and we'd be good to go. Looks like my pink paper is a little bit small there, so this would be another great job for my guillotine trimmer, just to trim off that edge there so it fits perfectly. But how cute is that little lemon? It's marketed as a watermelon, but you know, I kind of like to break the rules. Okay, I will show you how to cut down a piece of paper using just the guillotine trimmer if you have just this one and you don't want to buy the bigger one, or if you don't have the other one and you don't want to spend extra dough. We'll use a beige paper because this is just what I happen to have right here. So this is a full piece of paper, 8.5 by 11 standard size. You can see it will not fit in my guillotine trimmer here because that goes up to, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 8 inches here, and that's kind of all it's got. So wait a minute, 8.5 by 11, so that's got to be at least 8 3/4. All this math. All right, well, to make a card base with the guillotine trimmer, I would just line it up to be 5.5, right about there, and hold it firmly on this finger guard area. I'm going to tilt this here so you can see it comes up, so your hands are not going to be in the way. I think it would be pretty difficult to cut your hands with this one. I mean, not really if you put your finger here, but just be careful. The finger guard is definitely helpful, but this whole guard area is perfect for you to spread your hand wide. I know I'm double jointed in my thumb, so I can really get the whole picture there, but most people have that 90-degree angle. Still plenty of room for you to hold your paper. So I'll line it up, hold it with my left hand, and then with my right hand I'm going to do the chomp. One smooth motion, and ta-da. Now, I have had a few people ask me in comments and on Facebook actually about the bottom, and they've asked if the bottom has this ridge here like the top. See how when I push it here it stops? On the bottom there is no ridge, but you could cut here on this line like so and use the bottom as a measurement. But because of some physics that I am aware of, the mechanism of the guillotine trimmer has the most power up here by the hinge. So down here, it doesn't have as much power. So I would definitely use the top if you wanted to do small trims. And let's do a little small trim just for funsies. So I have this little sentiment, enjoy your day. It was kind of a oops sentiment that I just kind of tested out when I was doing my house mouse cards, but let's not waste it and let's cut it down so it can go on a card base. So to do that, I will just slide it over. See how you can see it there? I'm just going to kind of eyeball here how far I want it to be and just simply chomp. Chomp or chop? Chop. Chop it down. And that gave me a pretty good cut. Nice and even. And then to cut it here, you could take your shears, which are another one of my favorite tools. Yes, I bedazzled them. I love it. You could take your shears and do like a fun edge like this. You could do a little banner die edge like this. I'll just show you real quick. That was super easy. You could use a punch on the end, or you could take your guillotine trimmer and line it up with this hard line, slide it down, and give it a little chop. And ta-da, it is all cut out. Ta-da! So there's lots of fun things you can do with the trimmer. The more you practice with it, the more comfortable you'll be with it, and it's just one of my need to know. You need to have a paper trimmer. So if you don't have one, I recommend this one. Guillotine trimmers this size are kind of my jam because it fits on my desk. You can see here on my glass mat, it fits perfectly. When I go on vacation this summer, I'm definitely going to take this little guy. I probably will leave my paper trimmer at home just because of the size, although it is quite light and very, very skinny. Skinny legend this little lady is, but maybe it will find its way into my bag either way. But I digress. Something that will for sure be coming with me on vacation as I go up to the woods this summer is my Platinum Scout. She is the Lilac Shimmer. Let's close it up so you can really see the fun design that is on this gal. Look at her. She's shimmering, shining, splendid. Just a beaut, you know? So for the Platinum, it opens up like that, similar to the bigger Platinums that are out there. This little Scout is pretty light, I'd say. Haven't weighed her, but she's a light little lady. It comes with the handle already assembled. Loved that. And then it came with the universal plate system. But these are the ones that I use all the time and have kind of together on my desk and over at my other workspace whenever I am crafting. And that's Platinum A, B, C, and C. Yes, you heard me correct. 2 C plates. These are the cutting plates. So should we cut something? Let's do a little bit of die cutting just for fun. Now this is a dice from BB Cameron. This is one of them that just lives on my desk all the time. So we're gonna do this one. It's perfect for popping sentiments on, and I love this die. Okay, so to cut, going into my Scout, I have my platform base. By the way, it does give you little guides right on these, so if you forget, they're right there ready for you. So there's definitely different things you can do. So I put down A and then B, and see how it says top, so I put this on top. And then I have a cutting plate. Now I do have a little bit of some tape here, you might have noticed. That's not holding the machine together, it's for holding dies down. You could be reckless and dangerous like I am sometimes, run it through and oh, whoops, things moved. We've all done it, we've all been there, you know. But you could just tape it down. It's not too complicated at all. Okay, so I got my 2 cutting plates. I've used these a lot. You can see that this one's already warping a little. So I'm gonna make sure instead of putting it in with this side on top, I'm gonna use this side so it will eventually bend back the other way. Make sure you're rotating your cutting plates. You can use all of the sides of them. Now, just like any other die cutting machine, you don't want to put your items right close to the top because you want to give the rollers a chance to grab onto all of these lovely layers of this sandwich. So I always place mine a little far back. You can see here sometimes I put them a little closer just so I can get all of the plate used, but basically you just want to leave a little gap there. I'll put it in, hold it down, and now it is caught there. The rollers have caught it. You can see I can even pick it up and wiggle it, and it's not moving anywhere. I'm going to hold it with this hand, and I will just crank the little wheel and hold the machine down. It is just as easy as any other crank die cutting machine, but the size to me is just chef's kiss. All right, then to take it off, you just take off the cutting plate that we just used, and ta-da, you have a die. Really easy, and it's a great way to use your scraps. Look at that. I love die cutting. Moving on, these always live with my Scout. Usually I will close up my Scout if I'm having like a crazy work area, but most of the time I just have my Scout like this on my desk. So it is all together and so beautiful. So there is white and pink and blue. For the pink one, you can go to scrapbook.com. I'll link this all in the description if you're interested. There's a blue one. You're going to grab that at local retailers if you'd like that one. So if you have a local craft shop or something like that around you, go there, ask around, and they might be carrying it. The white ones and the purple ones are exclusive to spellbinders.com. So there's a little chat. Now, we're getting a little long-winded. I'm at 16 minutes here, but let's just keep going with my other favorite tools. I'll be really brief. So I talked about my bone folder, my shears. I do love my little scissors as well. I like that these are non-stick scissors, and that is important for all the gluing and all the sticky things that are involved in card making. And then I love my little picker tool. This one is from Pajama Crafter Stamps. I'll link it in the description. Any picker tool will work, but a little trick with my picker tool is when you buy these, they come with these two caps. And when this is on your desk, you don't know what end is the pokey end, what end is the end with the wax. And if you don't know what this is for, it's for picking up little embellishments. Oh, I don't have anything right here, but like pretend that was a little gem. You can grab it and stick it where it needs to go. So I like to have this on hand a lot because I love using this wax side for gems, but I don't like grabbing it and finding this pokey end. For whatever reason, it's like, no, I don't want that end. I want this end. And so what I did was I glued a gem to this end. Can you see that? So I always put this cap on the wax side. So when I want to glue on a gem and I want that wax side, I don't have to guess. And I don't end up with the pokey side unless I want the pokey side, which I do like this side for, especially for like stitched elements. If things didn't poke out right away, I can go ahead and poke those out, and it is easy as can be. This card is just stunning. I love it. Anyway, that is a good tool. Of course, tape, craft tape. This is the best ever craft tape from Spellbinders. I do also like the purple tape. You can see it's the satin stuff from Alta New. My brain is mushy gushy right now. Moving on, keeping it nice, short, and sweet at the end here. Reverse tweezers. These are literally essential to crafting, in my humble opinion. They are like a third hand sometimes. You can glue things together and set it off to the side. You can look at a project, find the right placement, set it down without your fingers in the way, especially with my long nails. Also for crafting, you're going to need tape runner. I'm not brand loyal to tape runners. I haven't found one that is shocking, stunningly above and beyond all others. So this is the one that I'm currently using right now. Nothing fancy. Barely Art Liquid Glue, I am brand loyal to because it is fantastic. Has a precision tip for gluing. It has a stainless steel needle that you can stick in there. And I have no issues with it getting very clogged if I store it kind of at an angle. So if this area is kind of moist and wet all the time, you'll have less clogs. So you can either store it on its side if it's very full. There's some fun people online that make little holders. I think I have one somewhere. I think this was designed for this one. You can see it kind of fits in there, but I always like to use the tip with the needle. So if you want to get fancy, you can use a holder. Not a big deal. Let's talk Better Press real quick. This is one of my favorite tools for the Better Press. It is Extreme Clean Cleaner from LDRS. It is fantastic. So if you Better Press, you're going to want this in your stash. You can see me use this on my Better Press that was full of black ink on my last club video where I made 3 cards with the Better Press Club. So there's that. Also, my dear friend Melanie, who I just adore and craft with a lot, she has a coupon code for this. So if you do buy this, you can use coupon code Melanie15 and you can get 15% off of this. So take advantage of that. I mean, it's not expensive anyway, but it is so good. I think that's all the tools that I wanted to chat with today. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I can totally help you. And if you want to join a fun, crafty community, join the Spellbinder Maker Group on Facebook. And that's a fun place to be. So join me there, and we'll see you next time. Bye, crafty friend.